I just love when my personal life is a great catalyst for you guys to learn from. It's just joyful. All right, so we got to give my neighbor a name. I'm going to call him Peter. His name is now Peter. He has earned a name. He's earned a nickname. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I put out this video on Instagram yesterday telling you guys the situation. I've mentioned sometimes when I'm doing a video for you guys, this guy walks by and I just kind of like dart behind my computer and kind of hide from him because he's always watching me. Okay, so this started when I first moved in. I started to do like those daily guidances, or I was recording some kind of video. It was in my office on the second floor. And he saw me and I didn't realize he was watching me for a while. But I have all these cameras and stuff going. So I think that was back when I was doing the podcast. That's what it was. And it's at nighttime, so you have to put the lights on. And I think it was still a little bit light out, but I still had the lights on because I knew that it was going to become dark or whatever. I was just fresh doing it from here. So I wasn't really paying attention. The guy was watching me. So alert, he was just like, oh, new girl in town, new girl in the neighborhood. So then I looked over and I saw him and I was like, uh-oh, and he has a balcony that's like diagonal from where I'm at. So he was on his second floor looking over at me. So that was the first time. Where I was like, okay, now I gotta really, like, when I go to do these videos, I gotta check the lighting, do everything, but then also kind of make sure I have privacy. And then I gotta pay attention to what time of day it is and if it's gonna get dark and if that's gonna be like blaringly obvious to the whole neighborhood that I'm making a video, that kind of stuff. So I wisened from it, basically. But then I would go downstairs, and this thing has evolved I've been here for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months now. So I noticed that he kept watching me. And then he'd come, like, there's a little, I don't want you guys to know like too much, but like there's an area outside one of my windows where people can kind of hang out, we could say. So he hangs out there all the time. Always. Like, I don't know if he even goes home. I don't know, but he's always out there. And sometimes he even takes a chair. Like, he'll be lounging back or whatever. He used to be a ways away, like in this area where he would position his body, no matter who he was talking to or what he was doing, he was always positioned toward me. And I was just like, gosh, and then the minute I'd come around, he'd perk up and look and, stuff like that. And then if the guy has a girlfriend or a wife or something, he's got a woman. I've seen her, and he's got like tons of kids. I don't know how many kids, probably, I don't know, 2 to 5. I can't tell which ones are his, and I don't know. But so I just noticed a girl knows when she's being watched. And it was just this continuous thing. And then he would cause little scenes outside my window sometimes, or be a little bit loud or something. And then it got to where he was watching, like, every time that I would make breakfast. I would make breakfast, and all of a sudden he would just magically appear around the corner. And here he comes, like, walking his dog or whatever. And he'd be like all looking. He goes out of his way to look, and it's obvious. And I don't know if he even knows that I know that I can totally see it. And then when I make him videos, sometimes like I said, I have to duck or whatever. It's just uncomfortable. It's just weird. I can tell he wants to meet me, but I'm not gonna be initiating that. I'm not gonna be doing that. If he comes to my door, I'm not answering. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with the guy. The guy's got somebody. He's cute, but he's like, that's it. and he might be a little, I don't know. He's acting a little stalkery. And so I just ignore him. I have no reason to. I'm not walking dogs. I don't have kids. I don't have when I go outside, I avoid everybody. I go a different direction. I go to a place down the road that's away from everybody and everything. And, yeah. So I go somewhere else. If he was smart, he'd be like in front of my place. He'd hang out somewhere in front of my place, because then he'd probably see me go. But and then he'd probably follow me. Then it'd be really creepy. Hopefully he doesn't think that. Anyway, hopefully he does not get that idea. So far, he's been, yeah, anyway. So I'm going to show that video, you guys, of what happened yesterday. So watch this video and then I'll expand on it, right? Okay, so here's the video. You guys remember that guy that I've been talking about in my videos lately who just keeps watching me and I keep like closing the blinds and stuff? Well, because I've been ignoring him, he's like taking it up a notch and he's built a skateboard ramp right outside my window. And there are lurky-loos gathering around watching them do their stunts. I'm just like, how am I going to be making my videos now with any peace? How am I going to sleep and take a nap if I want to? How am I going to... Oh my gosh, you guys, what a test. I'm still ignoring him. I just called the cops and called the management company to see if they'll do something about it instead. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, taking it to the next level. So I was like, okay, like what is it gonna take? Like, what is he gonna like? Is the next thing gonna be like he's gonna be some kind of trapeze artist? Is he gonna be like Cirque du Soleil outside my window? Like, is he gonna put on costumes and like go like it's getting comical, right? And so then I was like, oh my gosh. And so I wanted to call myself out, you guys, because you don't complain about when something happens with your neighbor or anybody who like bullies you. I mean, it's a form of bullying. Obviously, the guy doesn't get that he needs to just leave me alone. He's not taking a clue. You know, I close my blinds. I mean, like, he knows full well when I see that he's coming, close my blinds. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't want to be seen. Okay? I don't want to be seen by you. Like, stop checking me out. And it's not that it's like, it's fine. I've left my window open. I've like had my blinds open before. I mean, people have been able to see me and whatever else. I mean, it's not like I'm like this total recluse, but when somebody's like gawking like that, acting really weird, I just don't even deal with it. I'm just like, I don't want to be stared at. I don't want to feel like a zoo animal, go away. Anyway, all right. So, but when this happens, don't do what I did with that video. Don't go complain about it. It felt better for me to complain because I felt like you guys knew. I mean, and this is a little bit of a dangerous situation. If something were to happen to me, you guys would know about Peter. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why I did it, so that you guys were like aware of what was happening in my surroundings, in my environment. Because I really don't know anybody and I really don't have anybody looking out for me. So nobody would ever know if something ever happened to me but you guys. So there you are. So in one way, it was a good thing, but you don't want to complain like I did. You don't want to complain about something. I was a little scared. I was a little like, oh shit, because that would pretty much, that would be a bummer to have to hear that noise all the time. And he did it for like him and like 3 other guys were out there, and he's around my age. He's like, I don't know. He's around my age-ish. But there's all these like teenagers, and there were all these like, people in their 20s and stuff like that. They're also, it's like everybody just started flocking, and it's fun. That's really cool. I mean, if they were like in a park or somewhere where it was just like away from people, they could hear it, that would have been really great. How fun. And, people can gather around and watch and have fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with skateboarding. I love skateboarding. It's fun to watch tricks and stuff like that. But when a guy is doing it to try to get my attention, and he does it right outside my window, like 10 feet outside my window on purpose, because I know, and has all these people like just one after the other, boom, 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 boom. I'm like on the opposite side of my home, and I could hear all of it, like continuously for like 4 hours last night, right? I was like, and a part of me for just a moment was like, oh my God, it's over. I'm like, this is one of those tower moments where I'm being told, get the hell out right now, like get out of here. Like, I'm getting squeezed out. I'm getting squeezed out. This is becoming more and more uncomfortable. He's turning up the volume. I want the hell out of here. I want some privacy. And I was like, I guess I got to move. I guess I just got to go somewhere else, you know? And so when that happened, it was like the last straw. I was like, that's it. Cause I have to be able to sleep. I love to sleep and I just don't want to get woken up by boom, 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 just continuously like that all day long. And you guys know that I make all these videos and stuff all the time. So I love how quiet my place is usually. It's silent. I don't hear anybody. It's like, it's perfect. It's such a little haven. It's such a sanctuary. So just like in America or everywhere, I guess, it's like this whole thing happens to us, right? This tower moment happens. It all comes crashing down and you're like, wow, I'm like super aware of what I had before. That was incredible. And now it's being taken away. And you're just like, oh my gosh, there goes my freedom. There goes my peace. There goes my quiet, right? So on top of this whole world thing happening, I had this happen, which was kind of a little mini-cosm, a little mini example of the bigger example that was going on. And I just did that video on bullying, right? And I've been bullied a lot throughout my life. I know it's not like bullying, like he's just trying to be mean. I know he's trying to get my attention and he's flirting in a way, but it's at the same time, it is bullying because he's not taking no for an answer. Obviously the guy's got issues. So, anyway, so what you do in a situation like that though, is what I did is I called the police. I complained, but in a way it was an alert to let you guys know that I was in danger possibly. Then I called the police. The police said, well, we can't do anything unless they're doing something illegal. Okay. All right. So then I called the place that's in charge here. And they didn't get back with me for a while. So then I emailed and then I left a voicemail and then I left a voicemail with someone else. And I just kept going until I felt like, okay, I think I got enough little avenues going there to where something's going to actually happen, hopefully. And I just stayed really calm. I didn't freak out when I left these messages. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm outraged. I cannot believe that you let somebody put a skate park outside my window. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I didn't do any of that. I stayed really, really mellow, really, really calm. And I just said, we have an issue. I hope you did not allow this because nobody asked my permission. There is now a big skateboarding ramp right outside of my window. And I don't understand how that can happen, but it did. And, and I said, you can imagine, when you're making your living doing this and doing that, and you really need the peace and the quiet. As an enlightened being, I really need my peace and quiet, even aside taking the business part out of it. It's like I am a quiet person. I like my quiet. So anyway, so I just appealed to her. I said, you can imagine that, if this is what you're going through in life and you've got all this stress going on with the world and you have this blah, 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 and then somebody parks, put something in front of your place that causes a lot of noise, continuous noise, like a jackhammer. and I said, I can't do this. I really, really hope you guys are going to do something to like, I don't know what the rules are or anything, but it was like, I hope you guys can remove this or do something about it. And I said, otherwise, I'm totally open to moving somewhere else. If you guys have a place that's open, I would be happy to move. happy to move. So, and so she did call me back. The person called me back and she said, oh my God, no, he was not supposed to do that. And she says, do you know who it is? Do you know where he's located? And I was like, yes, I do. And yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, and I had taken a little video too of those guys. Anyway, but I stopped, after I did all the action steps that I possibly could, then I was like, okay, so I went upstairs and I just sat quietly and I said, thank you so much for resolving this. Thank you so much that I never had a thing to worry about. Thank you so much that even when things look like they're going to be threatening to you, I always know that I'm going to be taken care of. And I always know that justice will prevail. So, I just got really in a centered place and I did these affirmations on things that I wanted to have happen. Thank you so much for resolving it so quickly and easily. Thank you so much for, and so I did that. I got myself really anchored in a positive place, put out this brilliant light, toward the situation. I even understood where he was coming from. I've been ignored before too, and it really got me upset before too, to think that somebody doesn't like you back or whatever. It's like I understood. I understood. And so I try to have compassion for where he's coming from, and obviously he doesn't know how to take personal responsibility, or he would be. And then this morning, I'm having my breakfast, and here he comes around the corner and shoots me a look, like I see you, and I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get to you. And so, and I was just like, woo, and the hackles on the back of my like, oh, geez. But I mean, it wasn't a threatening look, but it was like a pretty intense look, because I think he was pretty happy with himself yesterday. So, yeah, and he had to take it down, obviously. But, people are really triggered right now. People are just really triggered, and they're looking for a way to take it out on you, or just kind-hearted people, or sweet people, or people who aren't really doing anything wrong. They're not like, this guy is like obsessed with me right now, and I haven't done anything but live my life. I'm just like in my place, and I hardly ever go out. I open up my windows to get fresh air. Like, I go out front and I get some sun sometimes and stuff. Thank God he never goes that way. But yet, we'll see. We'll see. If he does, here's the thing you do too. You just ignore them. Like, I called the cops instead of confronting him. It would have caused a fight. I just know that it would have caused a fight if I would have stepped out, and it would have rewarded him. You guys got to think in terms of like rewarding a behavior, ignoring a behavior. This is positive reinforcement that you learn when you train dogs with positive reinforcement, right? You ignore the bad behavior, you go toward the good behavior. Do I want him gawking at me and causing, turning up the volume and volume and volume and volume until I do something, until I go confront him, and then he's like, yay, here she is in my face. We finally meet, do I want him to have that victory? Hell no. So that's why I called the cops. I was like, you guys go take care of this, or whoever else, whoever else I need to call needs to go take care of this, So, but, going out there and confronting him on it, even going out there and saying, you know what, I feel very uncomfortable with this, and I don't appreciate that you did this, without even asking. You obviously placed her right in front of my window as if you're making some kind of like statement, or whatever. And what did I ever do to you? I mean, I could have said, I had a lot of things I felt I could have said to him, and it would have felt really good. But even though, it's like, this is a time of having grace. This is a time of having compassion. This is not a time to get all triggered and jump down somebody's throat, or jump to conclusions, or assume something is bad. Like him thinking there's something wrong with what I'm doing. Like, just give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's a private person. Maybe she realizes you have a girlfriend or something, and she's not about to start talking to you. She's not going to be some fling for you. Sorry. Maybe he just would need to like kind of chill out and like have a conversation with himself that kind of chills himself out, to where he's just like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. She stays for herself. Maybe it's not that she doesn't like me. Maybe it's that she's being wise. Maybe it's that, you know what I mean? It's just like, you guys, it's really important to be watching your thoughts right now. And there are so many subjects running around right now. There's so many things that we're all talking about amongst each other. But the more that we complain about it, the more that we talk about it in the sense that we feel victimized. I'm not talking about like the way I'm talking about it right now. This is on the other side of it, having learned the lesson and sharing it with you to show you various aspects that you can look at it from in your own life when you have your own things happen like this. For one, don't panic. When these things happen, don't panic. Don't tell everybody in the whole world, because that's like a victim mentality, right? You just talk to the key people who can do something about it. And then you do so calmly, you do so collected, and you do so with a very open mind. You are willing to compromise. And like I just heard some of you say, I wouldn't have been willing to move. Like I would have been like demanded that and it's just like, no, if you want your peace and there's a place open here and I can get away from this guy, fine. I'd be happy to move. Look at the benefits and advantages to everything. This is why I teach you guys this. so that you can have an open mind and you can offer up compromises and solutions, and you're not all stuck and rigid in your ways and all defensive. And, I could get out there and get all pissed off at him, but that's not going to help anything. I'm just going to become his real trigger. Then I'm really going to have a target on me. And then he's really going to be like, oh, now I really have something to be mad about, because now all these things that she has just said to me, I'm going to be ruminating over and over and over and over and over until I have really good answers to like come back at her. Then he's got engagement, and some people are actually trying to talk to you for engagement also. I broke up with this guy like a couple of years ago. We never really had a relationship, but we were friends. But he fell in love with me, and that's where I drew the line. I said, no, it's not going to go there. It's never going to go there. And then it was like he poured out his heart to me and said, I love you. I think you're the one for me. And I was like, well, okay, but that's not how I'm feeling. That's not where I'm coming from. And I'm not hiding it. And I'm not the divine masculine. This truly is not a connection for me. You are not my true love. And I know that, so there comes a point where you just have to, if somebody very clearly states to you, you are not my person, period. And they're coming from a really clear place. You got to respect it. You got to listen to it. So same day as this bully, the other guy surfaces, and tries to start some conversation with me. That's where you got to listen to your intuition. You got to be like, okay, people may be trying to start conversations with you too, just to get back in. And they will try any different subject that they can. So you just have to keep reinforcing your boundaries, but in a gentle, loving way. Keep it brief, just keep your answers brief so they have very little to go on. Or just keep saying the same answer back and forth. Well, I'm not back and forth, the same answer every time. Like, I am not interested. I am not interested. I am not interested. I am not interested. Thank you, but I'm not interested. I'm not interested. If you keep repeating the same thing and they're not going to keep beating their head against the wall. Eventually this guy's going to have to submit and surrender. He's going to have to eventually give up, because I am not going to interact with him. Period. I'm just not going to. So he can do whatever he wants to. He can keep trying whatever he wants. So, because I'm not going to reward that behavior. And I'm not going to reward someone who keeps trying to come back into my life and talk to me and things when I've clearly stated I'm not interested, right? So this is really also about having good, healthy boundaries with people. And people are also kind of jumping on these opportunities. Ooh, we're kind of in a flexy time. And like I said, they're feeling out of control in their life. So they want to kind of go after somebody. They want to go after somebody who they feel like would be kind of easy prey in a way. So this is why I put out that video the other day, you guys, like that messages from spirit that talked about like psychopaths and sociopaths, why those messages are coming through a lot from spirit. In even the reading that I did yesterday also, it's like we really need to be like on the lookout of people who are trying to get in our lives and control us in all different ways, in many, many different ways. Fight for your freedom and keep your boundaries strong, stay calm, cool, collected, state the facts. Don't get into arguments with people if people are trying to get you riled, or maybe you put something on your social media and they just delete them, block them, or ignore them. You don't have to deal with it. You create your own little safe haven. And if people aren't, if they're going to be looking to get triggered and angry and put up a big fight about whatever it is, you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to have anything to do with it. You really don't even need that person in your life, or you could just completely ignore them and just, you've got your opinion, you could do whatever you want with it. Obviously, every situation's different. If this is somebody who's constantly pick, and they've been doing that forever, and you finally just get fed up and you're just like, I'm done. I'm done. I've given away. Like, you have drained me of every little ounce of juice I had in there for you. And that put it over the top. You know what I mean? So every situation's different. But at this time, it's about having an open heart and an open mind, having compassion for others, being strong, being in your boundaries, doing the thing, putting out the signal if you need to. If you're not safe, people should know about it, or let somebody know. Let somebody important know that could actually, who would see that you haven't been on YouTube for a while and wonder what the heck is going on and maybe come check on you or something like that, for example. But if you don't want it to take that long and you might need people to know what's going on, you might let them in the loop on your Instagram. But, well, let's see. What else do you guys want to talk about? I've got these little mini tarot cards right here. So I'm just going to see what else they want to talk about. And I can, like I said, I mean, I'm happy to use myself as an example, both bad and good. Like I did. I'm real with you guys. If I do something that I think could benefit you guys, or something bad that I did that you guys could learn from, then I'll share that with you too. Because I just think it's all about helping each other out, supporting each other. That's the other thing. Light workers need to come together at this time, become friends and reach out and support each other. I've had so many people reach out to me and be like, thank you so much for putting out that very honest information that's hard to swallow. A lot of people don't want to look at it. I didn't want to look at it for a really, really, really long time. And I avoided it forever. And I just, I believed that I was making fun of the same thing as you guys were. I was making fun because I had been brainwashed. The powers that be, the dark side, has been making fun of these people for a long time. And then when I started looking into it, I felt really stupid. I was like, damn, they've got facts. They're not making this shit up. And then so they called it waking up. Then I was like, wow, if that's true, then I wonder if this other thing is true. So I'd look into that. Oh my God, it's true. These people aren't crazy. Maybe they came from, some kooky people, so maybe that's why I wanted to laugh at it or whatever. But when it started coming from also some respectable people, and when I started seeing facts and really good documentaries and stuff, I was like, wow. So hidden truths are coming to light. We've known that about 2020. I think I've been saying that since last year. 2020 things are going to come to light. Masculines are coming out of the shadows. That's including the masculines as well. They can't live a lie anymore, and they can't keep hiding like they've been. Maybe I'm getting more of my masculine energy because I'm turning these people away who are just like, you're my love. It's like, no, I am not the divine masculine. I'm the divine feminine. I might make that switch with my man. When he comes around, I might become the divine masculine. It's, you come into union, that tends to happen too. So maybe this is you guys are starting to feel this shift too. Like you're the one that's being sought after. You're the one that's like the tables have turned. Then you could be close to union possibly, because from what I understand now, I haven't looked a lot into this because there hasn't been like this big massive movement of people coming together yet. There've been like, I've met several couples and I've talked to them and interviewed them extensively. And it does look like the energy balances out. So if you're the divine feminine at first, you could very well become the divine masculine in the relationship, and vice versa. Whatever role you're playing in the beginning. So let's just say you're the divine feminine right now and you're reaching out to him and he's not doing anything. He's kind of ignoring you, blah, blah, blah. You guys get together. He's going to be the one pursuing you. He's going to be the one that's always reassuring you, or like always wanting to communicate, or always wanting to come over, or like he's going to be the one like coming after you or pursuing you. So, or being the romantic one, or being the one who's super expressive about how much he loves you, or that type of thing. So I don't mind being the divine feminine in the beginning part, although it is pretty darn frustrating. But I think I'd rather be the divine feminine at first, and then have my husband like shower me with love. That'd be awesome. So I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But and these ones who pursue you, I'm telling you, the ones who pursue you a lot are like at least for the feminines that are getting pursued, they're it's like fresh piece of meat for those psychopaths and sociopaths. Be discerning, you guys. Just be discerning. See the wolf in the sheep's clothing. Just like your masculines need to see that in their karmic, see what trouble it is, have the strength. Even though you may not have gotten attention from a guy for a long time, and even though he's cute or whatever, don't give in to that temptation. Just really consider, really take a good look at how you've grown and how far you've come, and really assess the situation from a standpoint of strength. so that you can really be determined and take action on your healing, continued healing and bright future, who you truly feel you can be yourself and be vulnerable with. Don't settle for somebody who's going to come in and boss you around and not listen to you and not respect where you're coming from. What else, Spirit? What else do you guys want to talk about with this subject? The test. Okay, so somebody asked me, like, how do you pass the test? A lot of the things that start coming up has to do with purging. Like a lot of the tests that come, like for me, I've had a few stalkers throughout my life, and so it's bringing that stuff back up. But the thing to realize is you're never going to go back to where you were. You're never going to be that scary thing. Like, and I've been broke and I've been on the streets before too. So you can imagine this situation has brought that stuff up too. Like, oh my gosh, does this mean I'm going to go back like I was? Those things will cross your mind at this time for purging, but you have to like listen to your intuition. You got to go inside. You got to quiet your mind. You got to sit and meditate even, and just ask those questions from a place of power. And just sit. You got to be powerful enough to just be quiet in your mind and just sit and question the universe. Like just be this question spirit and say, what's going on here? What's going on? You know, I mean, I remember, I think there's just been one time so far. One time, and I'd never cry, but one night, I told you guys about it a while ago, like a month ago or so. But I just started bawling. But Spirit just came right in. I didn't even have to ask. Spirit just came right in and started telling me all this stuff that's going on. Like they were just like, hey, don't worry, it's all going to work out. And, and I was like, oh, wow, that was awesome. But I had to allow myself to just bawl like a baby and be frightened, you know, for a moment. And just be like, oh my God, I'm all alone and I don't have anybody to support me and help me and to be here and blah, 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 reassure me. I'm the one that has to reassure everybody else, but who's here to reassure me? And then it's like, in that moment, Spirit just rushed right in to my aid. And they were like, it's okay. Everything's going to be, it's okay. It's good. We're all good. It looks pretty scary, but it's just a movie, you know? And they told me some great information that I ended up saying to you. So when you go through the test, it's important that you identify that you don't just go down the rabbit hole and assume you're going backwards to what you were. Whatever the thought is that you were afraid of, like the feeling of lack or the feeling of disempowerment or the feeling of I don't know what to do with a bully, whatever that is that starts to surface, first of all, you notice it and you're like, okay, who am I now? Who am I now? Who am I in this moment? How do I deal with things now? Remind yourself of the growth that you've been through since that. What tools do I have now that I didn't have back then that I can stake my claim on? You know, I now believe in the law of attraction. I can now do affirmations. I now believe that if my vibration is high, then I start gathering in some really great stuff. Do I believe more in the physical world or the 3D or the 5D? Well, I believe more in energy because we're all made of energy, right? So if I believe in total energy, then what does that mean? I got to be putting out some really high vibe energy right now, or I am going to perhaps go back. God will give you, group of deities, God will give you, or Spirit will give you the opportunity. It loves you so much, it will give you the opportunity to go back to that hellhole, to go back to that drama, to go back to that stuff, to you being angry and pissed off over politics, or like, I can't believe somebody would like Trump, and like wanting to rip somebody's face off. You should never be coming from that standpoint. If you're coming from a standpoint where you're that pissed off about anything, or you get super defensive about a subject and you get all riled up and angry, you have issues. You've got issues, not the subject matter, not the politics, not Trump, not anybody else. And I'm not even saying I'm not taking any kind of political stance. I'm saying that is a subject that gets people pissed off like you can't even believe. And it's crazy because it's not, Trump's not crazy, politics not crazy. The way you're reacting to it is crazy. And the reason I'm saying that is because you guys as light workers need to be calm, cool, collected. You need to be one within yourself, one with the world, one with it all. I can look at all the evil in the world and I can see, like, okay, here's an example. I had a meditation once and the devil card came in. If I were like one of these like still in duality kind of things, I would have been all defensive. And oh my gosh, the devil just came into my meditation. And they would have like jumped to these crazy conclusions, or it would have gotten defensive and everything. And I just sat there in my power, sat there in my receptivity, in my femininity, in my divine feminine, which is like divine feminine and masculine balanced. And I looked at the devil and I said, hello, welcome. Because I had set the space before I even went into it, saying only those of love and light who love me and want to see me succeed and want me happy in my life. So if the devil shows up in that type of energy, what do you have to say? I'm not prejudiced about anything or anybody as much as I can. I'll catch myself if I am. I'm self-aware enough to where I'll be like, oh, Amy, hey, you know what I mean? That's what it's about, being self-aware and being able to catch yourself. The devil came into my space and I was like, what's up? Let's have a talk. And he ended up saying, he said, I'm so frustrated because everybody thinks that I'm like, it was the tarot card, but it's still like the energy of the devil, right? And he says, I just feel so misunderstood. I feel so misunderstood. And I actually free people. I help people. I scare people into their freedom. Very symbolic at this time. Yes. He said, but people think that I'm bad. People think that I'm bad. And they don't appreciate the fact that I'm kind of like pushing them into their freedom, pushing them into their, conquering their addictions and fears. I'm making them uncomfortable so that they'll go run over there into the light. I'm like a herding dog. I'm like a herding dog pushing people into the light. I thought, I said, you have a really good point. I need to appreciate you. And I do. And, and he said, yeah, he says, you have, codependencies and things that happen and things you get caught up in that make you feel insecure or make you feel really stuck and whatnot. He goes, but you need that to be able to overcome that. And then you have this bright new beginning, and I'm forgotten. But I was a big tool in that. Like, we can thank the psychopaths. We can thank these people who've really pushed our buttons. But we should not be reacting from this space of hatred and just drawing a line in the sand and being that defensive about anything or anybody right now. Look at the evil, know it, see it, be willing to take your head out of the sand, some of you, and really do some research and take a look at are these things really just crazy people coming up with stuff, or is there actually valid proof of a lot of it, if not all of it? Really take a good look at it with an unbiased mind, an open heart, open mind. You can see all the disgusting things out there, and then you can just choose from this plethora of knowledge of all of it, good and evil. Masculine, feminine, good, evil. It's like we're ending duality. We're ending the whole duality thing. That's how we're getting to the 5D. That's what they're calling the Great Awakening. It's becoming loving and accepting of all of it. I love the guy who's doing this. He's being the peacock out there, strutting his stuff. Good for him. Good for him. I couldn't do it. Somebody's gotta, right? It's cool. So, I can appreciate it. And I can love him as someone who maybe hasn't ever had a voice, and maybe he's pretty frustrated. Maybe he just really has something to say. And I'm not letting him have that say. And I just happen to be like an icon or a symbol for him of not having a voice. Do you know what I mean? So try to have an open mind at this time and choose who you are now. It doesn't even matter what you ever were in the past, not even 5 minutes ago. You just choose. Thank you, God, for bringing this situation to me to be healed now. I recognize that there's bullying back in my experience again. This is who I am now, though. I can stand in my power and I can do nothing. I can stand in my power and love the hell out of myself. I can go do a chakra balancing meditation. I can lay on my back and welcome in some light codes of harmony. I can bring absolute peace to my home and to my environment and within me, because that's my choice and that's my sovereignty. I can choose how I react to everything. I can know all of it and choose not to react with hatred and or to slip back into a victim mentality that I used to be in years ago, you know? So that's how you rise above it. You choose to be who you are now, not what you were then. I hope that makes sense. If not, we can always do a remote reading. I have some really great deals going right now. If you want to check out that video, I'll put a link to it underneath this video in the description. If you're interested in having a sit down with me and talking about some of these things going on in your life and how you can deal with them, I'd be happy to do that. Anything else, you guys? They're just reminding me too. They're reminding you guys that there's power in vulnerability. The ultimate power you can have is to stay in the moment and have that God source energy coursing through your veins. That's when you can see clearly. That's when you do things from your strength and not from your reactivity. That's where you're not going to be tempted by anything or anybody. You're just going to be strong, receptive, clear-headed, and you are going to move and take action on what Spirit is telling you to do in that moment. It's like, done, going, gotta go. You know, I thought Spirit was telling me I needed to move yesterday, and that might very well be the case. But this little battle, you know, there was justice in this battle, but he may continue. So, and this could very well be the divine, like turning up the volume, using him to squeeze me out to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? And that's often the case. But justice prevails, you guys. Just believe it. Believe in miracles. And believe that justice will prevail. Keep a cool head. Meditate. Do what you can to cultivate that God source energy within you. Be kind to people. Be kind to everybody. Give people the benefit of the doubt. You guys have a new beginning coming. I just felt a new supportive beginning coming. Better than you could have imagined, they just said. They're like, just make it through this little obstacle course you got going on. If you do, make it through the obstacle course with a cool head. And on the other side is going to be this big reward. And so it'll be worth it, you guys. Just hang in there and talk to your guides more than anything. Talk to other light workers like me. It's good to even be in their energy. You know, watching my videos is a really good thing. And I will say this too, because I just listened, the meditation that I listened to today, it was like an hour long. And I remember the first time, it was so powerful that the first time I listened to it, I fell asleep within 5 minutes. And I don't do that. I was like, and I was in a chair, just passed out. So what that's about is that somebody else's energy, if it's higher than yours, if it's a higher vibration and you're like here, when you can't handle it, when it's too bright, it's too big, it's too you're not on the same level quite yet, you're going to fall asleep. And that's like these are like delta waves, and then these are sometimes alpha, theta, whatever. So that just means that you should listen to this more often so you can acclimate and raise your vibration to it. So if you're falling asleep to my videos, that's a sign that you need to listen to me more often to raise that up. And I was going to say that, you know, after I listened probably like 7 times to this hour-long meditation years ago when I first learned it, then I was able to stay awake through the whole thing. And today I was curious. I was like, I wonder if I'm going to fall asleep. And probably like almost 5 minutes from the end, I felt like I traveled off for just a second, but that was it. I got through the whole hour. So I'm pretty proud of myself. I did it. And I wasn't trying. I mean, I was genuinely like really tired, and I would have been really happy to actually fall back asleep. So I thought that was a good thing. Now, the universe does give you those thumbs up sometimes to just encourage you. Like, you're doing good. You're doing good. You're up there. All right, guys. And thank you for those of you who really are. Oh, this is what I wanted to clarify too. The other day, somebody misunderstood something I said about the gals. There were 2 divine feminines that donated. They didn't donate anything of theirs. they bought my services. They bought like let's say, well, one of them bought five. They bought five readings from me, like as if they purchased my readings, five of them. The other Divine Feminine got one reading, and then both these gals decided selflessly and very sweetly to give that away to anybody in need. So essentially 6 Divine Feminines out there got free readings from these very generous 2 feminines that bought my services and gave them to them. Isn't that sweet? So those of you out there doing good deeds and doing sweet things, please share that with me. Share it in WhatsApp so I can share it on Instagram to encourage everybody. We need all the encouragement we can get. Be encouraging those who are speaking their truth, even though, they could look bad or look stupid or look crazy, or, lose clients because of their beliefs or whatever. It's light workers. I would listen more to people who have a strong intuition than I'd be listening to people who have just listened to other people and it's been passed down informationally through all these different people that are just using their own logic or whatever. I would listen to intuition over logic any day. These light workers that are coming from a place of love and they're unbiased, the things that they are saying, I'd be listening to that. I'd be listening to that truth more than I'd be listening to the brainwashing that I'd received my whole life because I'd just been taught to look at things a certain way and to listen to certain people as the authority. You know what I mean? It's time to question all that stuff now. You really got to look at the heart of the matter. I'm going to put some powerful links beneath this video in the description as well if you guys want to look into some of the stuff I'm talking about. Yeah, they're like, it's time for expansion. You have some great opportunities coming in up ahead, but you've got to expand and spread your wings to fly. Let go of your defenses. Fly forward single. Some of you are becoming single. Fly forward single and go fight for what it is that you want. All right. Anything else, you guys? Anything you want to end on? I think that's it. That was a really long talk, but hopefully you guys, enjoy just kind of hanging out with me for a little while and chatting about Peter. Reach out to the light workers, show your support. That's what I was going to say. It's like, oh, the sun. I thought that was the star, but it was the sun, but that's even sweeter. You're going to marry the sun. Whoever that sunshine is in your life. But you're going to heal that thing with that person and you're going to be going to the next level with them. Maybe they're surprising you. They've been hiding from you and they've been spying on you, but they're going to come out of that hiding. They're going to cause justice to happen and they're no longer going to procrastinate. Because divine intervention has come up and they're like, all right, I got to make this right. I just got to make it right. But that's what I was going to say, though, is a lot of you feminines have reached out to me on WhatsApp and thanked me for the information that I've been sharing lately, because it is risky information. And so you're welcome. You're welcome. And thank you for being so sweet that you're sharing that. And any of you who are afraid to say things to me, like in the comments, because everybody will know who you are, feel free to send them in WhatsApp. I will not use your name or any identifier. I will just screenshot it and put it on Instagram. And I can edit things out. I can copy this over, put it over here so it doesn't show your little profile or anything like that. I'm really big into privacy, obviously. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Have yourselves a beautiful day. And I think we're done. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, if you like my videos, please share, subscribe, and set your bell notifications on so you'll know the moment they come out. Also, don't forget that you can go to my website and order a personal reading at amysatori.com/services. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.